Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. Today is going to be a gel polish mani with some gels that Rosalind sent over to me. Thank you, Rosalind, for these amazingly beautiful gels. Also, here is the bunch of them that they sent over to me. This is the kit. This is what came in the kit, or in the gel polish collection set. They are beautiful. Perfect pinks, lots of different color pinks. So I decided that I was going to use a few of them for the mani today. I wanted to do kind of like a tonal, like a pink tonal, I guess you could say, to match these amazing decals. So these decals, they say May, June on them because they are the freebies from Coco Decals. Every time you place an order with her, she'll send you this size sheet to practice on so you can get the hang of the decals. And each month is a different, each month or two, she'll change it up and give you a different design. So you don't have to waste your money while you're practicing and figuring out how to use the decals. So I think that is amazing. Also, we are going to be doing this over a nude color. I'm also going to apply the bubble peel base. It's a gel peel base, which just helps. I put it under gel polish, this particular one, because it helps the gel polish peel off amazingly at the end when I'm ready to take it off. So these colors, I love Rosalind. They've sent me a bunch of different colors, and I love everything that they send. The consistency of the gels is amazing, and the price is super affordable. So if y'all have not tried out Rosalind, I will leave the link to their Amazon shop and to their website down in the description box. I'll leave this set that they had sent me, that they did send me, in the description box as well if you're looking for these exact colors. Now the bottles are a little bit smaller, so if you're wanting bottles for like your salon, then this might not be a good option for you, but I'm just a DIYer, so I don't mind the small bottles, the 5 ml, 7 ml. I don't mind those. It's not a big issue for me. So what I'm doing, I just speed it up a little bit because you guys can kind of see the color. They apply very well. They apply just a little bit different on top of this peel base because with this peel base you don't have to use a gel base, which would help it slide just a little bit easier on, but 2 coats is all you need for these polishes. I mean, you can do 3 if you want, but you only need 2, so just personal preference there. And then always make sure you're cleaning the excess gel off of your cuticle line and off of your skin. Try to do it as quick as possible just so that you don't come into any gel allergies. That's why I'm also being very careful when I'm applying the gel polish, because I don't want to get any on my skin. I don't want to have any issues with contact dermatitis or any kind of gel allergy. That's another reason I speed up the gel videos, because this is sped up I think like 3 or 4 times, like times that many, just because I go really slow when I do gel polish, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it on camera for you guys to see the opacity of the colors and the beauty of them, but not sit here for like 100 years watching me do this. I also don't show the second coat me doing it, but I do show the second coat on the nails before I start. So while you're watching me finish up with this, I am going to cure this layer for 30 seconds in my lamp. You want to make sure that your lamp is whatever wattage it is, you're curing for the appropriate amount of time, between 30 seconds and 60 seconds. So just make sure you check that when you buy a brand of gel polish or any kind of gel. Just make sure you're checking the wattage and the time. So just sometimes even 120 seconds. Just make sure that you're verifying the information so you can get a full cure. All right, so the decal is going to go on the white nail. So I also wanted to show you that these gels are really beautiful. They're beautiful on their own. You can totally wear them as just a regular mani with just the gels. So that's what a lot of people do. Now, if you want to do that for a couple of days, you're like, oh man, I really want to change it up, but I don't want to have to do a whole entire nail set all over again. I just want to add something to this. This is where decals and stickers and gems, if you can handle the texture, that's when all of that comes in, because then you can it's a super easy, simple fix. All right, so this is with 2 layers, full opacity in 2 layers, right? So here I'm going to just put the base coat on, and then here is what we are looking like with just the gel, right? So on that white nail, I'm like, oh, it looks a little bit plain. So what I did for the picture was I do a gel base and I do a gel top on all of my nails, and then I do any filing that I want to do, reshaping, which I usually don't have to do much, but I always like to do a gel base and gel top and then do all of that. So here I'm going to show you everything I use to do my decals. Sorry, I'm talking so fast. First was the sticky base from Maniology, which is my favorite. I do like to apply my decals with a stamper. Now we have the acetone and the angled brush to help melt the excess off. 100, 180 grit. I use the 100 side of that file. We have the sharp pointed tweezers with the silicone end to help press down the decal. Then we have the pointy scissors to help cut the decal out. The small scissors, they're very sharp, so please be very careful. I've stabbed myself a few times on accident. I decided that I was going to use that top left decal, but this is the same decal on there, and it's just easier to get to it. So also another tip is to cut the decal as close to the design as possible. And then I throw mine in face down so that you can see the back of it absorbing the water. I like to put my decals in the bowl to do them because then I know when it's fully ready to get pulled out of the water because all the paper is completely wet. Then I will have my decal on my stamper, right? Next pro tip is to cut the decal at the cuticle line. First you want to apply the sticky base. I applied the sticky base, and then while it was drying, I measured the decal. So back to the pro tip. Cut the decal at the cuticle line where you would like the decal to fit mostly, right? Because what happens is with these decals, they are made with super stretchy paper, so you can stretch and pull all of those wrinkles out, so you will have absolutely none. But there is a flip side to that with them being stronger and not able to melt and rip as easy. They're not going to be able to melt with the acetone. So little to no ripping will happen with these decals while you're learning them, but they don't melt as easy as previous ones of hers have. So these ones, I have found out that if you cut them, you can even cut them when they're on your stamper. Just be careful to not poke your stamper head. This is my decal stamper, so it's fine. If I poke it a little bit, it'll be okay. Cut it to fit your nail cuticle line, and then get it as close as you can, corners and everything, and then apply it to the nail because it will make the process so much easier. Now the stuff at the free edge is just a little bit easier to do just because you can use a file up there, and it's just it sticks once the sticky base dries. The decal's pretty much stuck on there, so that is not a problem. But when you get to the cuticle line, with them being a little bit harder to melt, not only do you dry your skin out with the acetone a lot more, you have to just fiddle with it a lot. And I left that in for y'all to see. You see those little bit of excess hanging off at the cuticle line? So what I like to do is, I do end up speeding this up at some point, I hope. I think I do. But what I do is, now it's time for the acetone. Yeah. I speed it up, and I'm going to show you because it takes a little bit of time to melt it. So you just want to dip the brush in the acetone and just kind of melt the edges just a little bit. And when you get it melted enough, I'm very picky about my decals, by the way. When you get it melted enough, you're able to cut off the excess very carefully because it will semi-cut, rip, tear, as you'll see. But doing this is it just helps seal the decal to your nails so you don't have your mani in a couple of days falling off or your decal lifting and stuff like that. You definitely don't want that since you worked so hard to get your nails done. You don't want to have to worry about them in a day or two. Now, what you're doing when you're melting it is you're melting it to the edge of the gel and you're attaching it to the nail itself versus just flowing it over like a blanket. You want it to be more like a fitted sheet. That's a good way to explain it, versus a flat sheet. A fitted sheet you want to tuck into your nail. You want it to hang on, hold on, because you definitely don't want that fitted sheet to just be rolling all around the bed when you're trying to sleep. But the flat sheet, you just lay on top and let it do its thing, and you can cover yourself with it, and it's flowing, right? So the top part is like the fitted sheet part, but the file, if you file carefully in one direction, look at how easy that files off. And you don't have to push very hard because the decal is still tender. And then you just take the acetone and you suction it So it looks, if it's going to be like a whole fitted sheet, except for the fact that you want it to attach to it and not like overlap under it. Because what the filing will do is it will take it off the edges for you and it will seal it to the sides so that when you apply your top coat on top of it, that you don't have any excess hanging over, because that will make your top coat peel up. You want to try to keep everything as attached to the nail as you can, because that will prevent any kind of lifting. And here's what I was saying. I was playing around with the cuticle line and I ended up using some cuticle nippers just to clip off the excess of the decal. Sorry, I'm watching this as well as I do it. And then I just go back in and I seal it up with a little bit of acetone. You do not have to worry about these decals melting like that. So if you get a little bit of acetone on the decal on the other part, it will be fine. And I like to stretch my decal and pull it, and just look at how beautiful that is. Like, there's no wrinkles at all in it. It may take a little bit of time to look really beautiful. Yes, close the acetone before we spill it. But then I just apply a gel base and a gel top coat, because that is my preference on decals most of the time. And then that one, and oh yeah, can't forget to use cuticle oil, because we just used a lot of acetone and alcohol to clean up the stuff from our cuticle line and stuff. So we just want to make sure everything is moisturized. But like, look at how much that decal just stepped up the mani. It just took it from being a beautiful mani to like just that extra something special. So some tips in here for you guys for applying decals. These gels are amazing. I love using them. I use them all the time. I don't post them enough, but these are amazing, affordable gels. Y'all should totally check out Rosalind description, and it will be in the description box. If y'all have any questions about decal application or anything like that, you can message me on Instagram. You can send me an email. You can comment below, and I would be super happy to help you guys out. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to spend it with me, and I will catch y'all in the next video. See ya!